Get full episodes of The Damage Report as a podcast on iTunes and Android, and you can watch the live show every weekday on YouTube TV. Do you know who is in studio? My co-host for the entirety of this episode, Alyssa Milano.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here, thank you.
However happy you think you are, I am far happier.
No.
We've wanted to have you on for a long time.
Oh, thank you.
You've been understandably kind of busy.
I've been busy. It's been a busy couple of years, and can you believe that tomorrow is the day we've all been waiting for?
Yeah, perhaps dreading, perhaps hoping.
How do you
combination
feel?
Of the two. Well, I told you when you came in, I don't generally, I'm not a nervous person.
Right.
But I'm nervous.
Yeah, I'm nervous too. I have butterflies in my tummy.
Yeah. Well, partially, one of the reasons I'm nervous is that I don't think of myself as a naive person anymore, but on the eve of the 2016 election, I still thought, we got this.
Yeah, of course.
And so now I question myself 100%.
Didn't we?
A lot of people afterward were saying, no, I totally knew that Trump was gonna win.
Right, right.
So yeah. I'm afraid of false confidence now.
I'm not reading any polls at all whatsoever.
See, I'm reading tons of them.
Are you?
They'll drive you crazy.
Well, I mean, I was talking to some sort of expert the other day from the DNC actually, and she had told me that Florida early voting was favoring Republicans, and I was like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it, can't, la 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 la.
But what if I could reassure you?
Okay.
It is favoring Republicans. The most recent numbers I saw, over 3 million early votes, and the Republicans are up, I believe, by 0.6%. But in 2016 or 2014, I forget which, they were up by 4%.
So which pollsters do you like?
Do I like in general?
Nate Silver
yeah, I go
world?
for more of the aggregations.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily trust any individual polls. And I don't necessarily have the time on a day-to-day basis to go through the ratings and things like that. I know not to trust Rasmussen, I know that.
Right, how about the fact that Beto O'Rourke has no polling in his campaign whatsoever?
Or basically none.
Right.
They should be there. Every 3 days we should have a new poll. And they're like,
you love the polls.
I wanna see them, I wanna know.
But what did that give us in 2016?
I think in 2016 the polls are actually pretty accurate.
You do?
The issue is, so understand where I come from. I'm a politics nerd. Before I came and started hosting these shows, I was a political science graduate student. And I studied poll making and things like that. So in 2016, the overall national poll had Hillary up by like 2 or 3%, and she ended up winning by like 2 or 3%.
Right.
In the individual states that ended up throwing the Electoral College, like in, I believe, Pennsylvania, I think she was up by like 2 points. And the thing is, if a margin of error is 3 or 4 points, that 2-point lead easily goes to him winning by 70,000 votes and the whole thing flips.
I also heard a very interesting thing, which was if we're taking into account new voters, new registered voters, you have to add +4, 2 + 8 onto the Democratic candidates. Which would be amazing.
I'm hoping. So I was gonna save this, but I saw one number that was just amazing. So we're gonna talk later on about Stacey Abrams and some of the other gubernatorial races. The early vote in 2014 was 945,000 votes, so less than 1 million. In this cycle, it's already over 2 million. So more than doubling, and you're seeing that play out in a number of different states. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to advantage the Democrats, but it feels like it should.
It feels like it should, especially when you take the new registered voters into account, right? Why all of a sudden are they motivated to vote? Is it because they're just of age now and are motivated by this newer generation of activism, or are they fired up?
Yeah, like I can imagine why Andrew Gillum or Stacey Abrams or Beto O'Rourke would be generating new voters. It's hard to imagine a lot of people who didn't care about Trump in 2016 and have since come to love him. That seems harder to imagine, I think.
Yes, or harder to imagine that the fear tactics that they're building their final play on is actually working for that many people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and they've been relentless with that message. So just a warning, at any time our studio could be invaded by the caravan, which is streaming up through Mexico. So we're gonna broadcast as long as we can, okay? Anyway.
I did a podcast with Barbara Boxer the other day, and she said, yeah, my grandparents came over in a caravan. It was a ship caravan. And I was like, that's a perfect way to describe
at one point, my family, they boarded a boat in Italy.
Yep, and it was a caravan.
And you know what? People were pretty scared of them at that point too, but we got past it as a nation.
They were scared they were gonna gain weight from all the carbs that the Italians were gonna bring over.
Mob and stuff. Yeah, the Italians had some bad periods in history in America. But I want to talk to you, so really fast preview, so much that we want to talk about. We're not going to be able to get through all of it, unfortunately, but we're going to be covering basically the stakes in this election. Some of the most high profile ballot measures. We're going to go over some of the most exciting and in fact tightest gubernatorial races. We've got a number of Senate and House candidates that we want to touch on. And then in the end, we're going to talk about what's at stake, why we think this election in particular matters. But I am curious, you've been relentlessly active for the past couple of years and managed to make a show in the middle of it. I don't know how you actually did that. That seems absurd.
And raise babies.
And raise babies. You actually maintained a life at the same time. What is it about this cycle, in the past couple of years, especially around Kavanaugh and a number of family separation, that made you want to effectively turn your life over to this?
Well, I think, I've been politically active since 2000. And in 2000, we sort of faced not similar, but also an outrageous outcome, which was when Gore lost the election. And that sort of ignited in me a sense of political responsibility that I felt that I had to sort of uphold having a platform that I had. It never occurred to me that being a celebrity meant that I couldn't have a political ideology. It actually meant to me that I had to have more of a political ideology because I take my platform very, very seriously. And so I've been, for 20 years driving people to the polls and doing this. Yes, this same work, campaigning for candidates. But obviously, since 2016, what were my options? My options were either to stay in the fetal position for 2 years under the covers with the lights off, or to actually get out there and feel like I'm actively making a difference. So I chose to sort of get out there, and it's not anything unlike I've normally done. It just feels a lot more intensive because the stakes are so much higher.
Yeah, we're gonna go over for just 1 minute because I do have a follow-up question. So I have noticed, maybe this isn't a new thing, maybe I'm just noticing it more, maybe because of social media, but it does feel like more celebrities are willing to engage on a daily basis with politics.
You think so?
I mean, I see Don Cheadle is he's arguing with people all day long, and
well, God bless Don Cheadle.
He's out there
amazing.
fighting.
Yes.
So, and I've seen a lot of people like that, and I often wonder, is there any fear that these two parts of your life, the entertainment part and the political part, that one could be potentially hurting the other?
I think often when you see celebrities not using their voice, it is because of that fear.
Yeah.
It's a fear that they're going to alienate half of the audience. Yeah. And especially in such a polarized time as right now, when Trump supporters really are upset with me. And there is that fear of okay, maybe those people are not gonna download Insatiable, There is that fear. But to me, I have to be able to sleep with myself at night and look at myself in the mirror and know that all the hard work in my acting career actually leads to something fulfilling, which to me is to be able to help people and to live a life of service.
Yeah, totally understandable fears. There's one or two of my favorite celebrities, and I'm just hoping someday there's gonna be a breaking point where they're gonna come out and say something political, but so far I'm still waiting. Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.